Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3, the ace match between ASUS.Polar and NiP, set to be underway. The winner will be facing off against Empire in the best-of-5 series here in the grand finals of the major All-Stars Dota 2 Championship. I'm Zyori, joined again by Kotlguy. Dakota, what's going on, man?
Zyori, not too much. Dota's what's going on right now. We got a best-of-3. We're going the 3-game stretch. So we got to find out which team's going to be moving on, like you said, to face Empire. It's feeling like a bit of a reprieve from our Star Ladder time. But, I mean, without further ado, I think we should just kind of let the draft speak for itself here. Early opener, Polar, no surprise. They're going to be getting rid of the Wisp with first pick priority to NiP. Axe is the follow-up. On the side of NiP, if they can't get Wisp, they go for one of the next best options. They get a hold of Chen with that new buff, the extra creep, the mobility factor, of course. Witch Doctor, they get rid of Troll and Brew. Dazzle's the first pick for ASUS.Polar, and I don't know, man. I think it's anyone's game. Polar obviously were the favorites coming into this one. Dota Lounge said so. You said so. I don't know who the hell's going to win this.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Game 1 looked great for NiP. Game 2 looked great for ASUS.Polar. So we'll see what they do. Now, this is how NiP opened the first game, I believe. Chen, Witch Doctor. ASUS.Polar picked up that Ancient Apparition. Of course, it was a 5th pick Clinks that totally backfired. ASUS.Polar, Illidan in particular, put a lot of effort into trying to shut down that Chen, and he sort of succeeded in keeping the Chen down, but it came at a grave cost, and that was Clinks' ability to sustain his own farm. ASUS.Polar may be thinking about an Ancient Apparition pick here, but with the Dazzle already snagged, perhaps not something they really want to do. Both supports that need some XP, need a little bit of farm priority, and neither really want to play that completely sacrificial 5 if they can avoid it. Also, just going with a double support opener. We'll see what Polar want to do, but they're a little stumped here, Dakota. They're thinking about it.
Yeah, the safe bet was that AA, but then you're putting a lot into a more supportive, defensive kind of a game, not really allowing too many options to go aggressive early. Maybe go Bounty Hunter. I would love to see it. Bounty Hunter is great. Anti-jungle could really harass Chen a bit. But then again, you're kind of falling into the same field like we saw with Clinks. NiP, when they need to get sentries and dust, they'll just get it. And then your Invis heroes are not going to be as potent as they should be. So finding the next best option outside of nerfing down all that sustain and heal and preventing them from getting too much jungle action, they'll hold off on the second support for now. They would rather secure Illidan's comfort hero. He performed very nicely in the last game with it. Here's Slark once more.
Yeah, I mean, one way that you can work around the... Instead of trying to stop the Chen from farming or killing him with an Invis hero, you can always just fight that greed with more greed. Pick up something like an Enigma, get a dedicated jungler of your own, and sure, you're letting that Chen farm, but at least you're getting something in exchange. And it looks like they will do something at least along similar lines with Chen in the jungle. They know the lanes won't be too strong. Chances of an aggro try, basically 0. And now they will grab the Slark and let Illidan continue doing what he knows best.
So with that, we move on. Banning phase continues here. Got to get rid of the Lycan, get rid of the Viper on the side of NiP. They eliminate that Venomancer. Man, that Venomancer was so good in the last game. It just, they were able to secure so much prioritized farm onto Phobos that it was just an uncontrollable plague that there was no antidote for. So don't want to deal with that crap anymore. They get the ban respect outright. And we're seeing a bypass of the Jug, at least for now. The hero we haven't seen really picked up as of recent. Luna, okay, well, Blast from the Past, at least for now. Or at least amplifying the push overall. A Luna grab here. I haven't seen this personally in quite a while. I haven't casted a Luna game, and I don't even know. I know it's popped up from time to time, but it's been a while.
Yeah, now, she was the 3rd ban from ASUS.Polar when NiP did this opener in game number 1, and this is pretty potent. Witch Doctor and Chen really good at pushing. They've got the sustainability. Chen now with those extra creeps at those 2 early levels. You've got that aura from Luna, and even though it doesn't work on creeps, boy, does it add a lot of damage to those heroes, and we should expect that off-lane tower for ASUS.Polar to fall down pretty damn fast.
With Luna, and it looks like they have 5 matches, NiP does, in 6.83, they're 5-0. They're undefeated. All right, so they know what the hell they're doing with this hero.
Oh, yeah.
With that, very comforting for them. And a hero which a lot of teams don't really get a lot of practice against. I mean, how many other teams really just kind of have Luna constantly in the rotation and in your scrim play and your other matches that you're kind of grinding on through? Or do you have a lot of opportunities to go against this kind of hero, which used to be, you know, all the rage back in the day, but as of recent, just kind of slowly popping out from time to time.
Yeah, here we go. Third pick from ASUS.Polar. The Clockwork. We'll see how this works out for him. Pretty good in terms of anti-push. Won't be able to stop those tier 1 towers from going down, but 3 heroes on the side of NiP that don't really want to be isolated inside those cogs. We have a Slark who can hop in, hop out. Yeah, could definitely give them a run for their money. So, all right. Something that Mag is definitely quite comfortable with.
Other offlane options here that NiP could go for still include the Bat Rider, which has been ignored so far. The Vengeful Spirit could still always be a secondary support option for Polar. They might not want to go that road because it allows them to get the easy counter. Tidehunter is the other follow-up option as far as offlane potential. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do to prioritize that, because you got some pretty elusive heroes that are durable, hard to take down with someone like Dazzle. Great gap closing initiation with your Clockwork already. Also, you got to consider some mid lane potential here. I think both sides, Sniper, Shadow Fiend, both ignored up to this point. Still a lot to develop here.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what NiP go for. Breaking into that reserve time as they think about it. Queen of Pain. All right. Nice and exciting. Someone to deal with BKBs quite effectively. Also great against the Slark. Of course, all that AoE damage. He thinks he's away with that Shadow Dance on, and lo and behold, there's a Sonic Wave chasing you down. ASUS.Polar will strike back with a classic mid matchup, Puck versus Queen of Pain. Hopefully you get to see it here today, Dakota.
Yeah, the 1v1 we like to expect the CS game, the mobility. Both have really good rune control, great mobility. Of course, Queen of Pain with the recent buffs has max blink range right off the bat. Doesn't care about no pesky BKB or whatever the hell you got on your side. The burst is there, and I imagine that her utility in this game is to just kind of be the space creator, snowball up, have a big impact in the mid game, allow Luna to get somewhat involved, but really Luna's there to shine later down the road. And kind of you could say the same almost for Polar, except Slark has wanted to get involved much more early, and of course with Illidan's play style, the second he gets that first kind of mobile item, he really looks to try to get those support pickoffs. So this could be high octane right off the bat. If NiP, at least with the lineup they have at hand, can hold out a bit, they could really shine later on.
So final bans on the way. We'll see what NiP take out here. ASUS.Polar will need their last support. Ancient Apparition, I still think is a bit greedy and lacking in just general stuns and disable, but NiP don't want to roll the dice here. They will go ahead and ban it out. That is one hero that can stop their push pretty effectively. Now, what do ASUS.Polar
Lion also ignored, mind you. I just want to put that out, and could be good against someone like Queen of Pain. The insta lockdown right there certainly would be nice. So I'm just surprised to see someone like Lion and Vengeful Spirit both ignored also up to this point.
Spirit Breaker banned out by ASUS.Polar. So they've been running a lot of offlane Mag Spirit Breaker. I don't think NiP have been running it nearly as much, but certainly a hero that ASUS.Polar respect right now. NiP, they'll need an offlaner though. What do they take for Jonas here? A lot of options. He could grab a Bat Rider, could grab a Tide. If they wanted more pushing, he could go a Beastmaster perhaps. Get some scouting vision. Could be a good way to try and deal with the Slark.
Maybe they were hoping Polar were going to pick their secondary support with that fourth grab, and they could feel more comfortable getting a Bat, but with still a secondary support, and that potentially could be a Vengeful Spirit. I would wager a Bat Rider probably wouldn't be the best option here, without at least seeing what that second support is. This is just, of course, my own personal theory about it, but with that, they'll need someone else, I wager. Like I said, Tidehunter is another option. PPD thinks Tidehunter's shit, though, so I don't know if NiP are watching that video and that analysis or not. Phoenix is going to be the grab. Another EG kind of offlane special. They don't get the benefit of a nice little sexy tree to lock everyone down, but it's a good mobile hero, and they don't have really the insta-silence here. Silencer could be a good support grab for ASUS.Polar if they really want to shut down this Phoenix, and it's pretty good against Queen of Pain. Stops Death Ward from Witch Doctor. Who knows?
Yeah, I could see Silencer working here. I don't think that's quite in the comfort zone of ASUS.Polar, running it in the support role.
Well, neither was Kunkka.
But neither was Kunkka, that's true. So maybe this is the time to try something different. Got to remember, elimination is on the line here as we are into Game 3. Now, this Phoenix pick, I think, is pretty damn good here. They don't have a huge amount of catch to try and lock him down. Attack speed, not going to be too easy. And they'll take the Skywrath Mage. Great lane zoner, classic for Lil. And they will take one that can do some big magic damage.
Yeah, just going back again to shout out to PPD releasing that great draft analysis content. He pretty much said this to the definition. When they went against VG at the end of DAC, they started up their first game getting their tree Phoenix combo. Game number 2, he almost felt like they were on tilt because they picked up a similar drafting style. They got the Phoenix Instaban Silencer, but their mistake was they left Skywrath Mage out in the pool. EG recognized that. They knew the weaknesses of the laning phase for Phoenix. They grabbed up Skywrath Mage immediately, and he was just shut down. So this could be a hard and sweaty laning phase for Phoenix going against Skywrath Mage.
We'll see if Jonas is up to the challenge here. Radiant side will have NiP, the Ninjas in Pajamas. Limp will take the Queen of Bane towards the mid lane. Seal Kid will take the Witch Doctor down bottom. It's Handskin once again on the Chen in the Radiant jungle. And Era farming away on that safe lane Luna. Not using Hoof and Paw here, but still looking good with this Luna Seti scrapped together. Jonas, he'll be off lane on the Phoenix. Ring of Protection picked up already, and plenty of regeneration, anticipating that this won't be the easiest laning phase.
Dire side, we got ASUS.Polar, who were able to even things up in their previous game on the back of a very well-played Venomancer, and of course Illidan on his Slark. This game and go-around, we got the F-God, or FNG, who's going to be playing your Dazzle, with DK Phobos on his Puck. Skywrath Mage going to be played by Lil. Clockwork is going to be Mag, and of course, we're going to have none other than Illidan playing your Slark. And as I said, I feel like Polar have a really nice laning setup here. They're going to be able to harass. It looks like they might not even need to go with a tri-lane kind of a setup. They should feel nice and comfortable going with the 2-1-2.
Yes, sir. So it is actually the Queen of Pain versus Puck mid matchup that I was excited about. Limp will get a much better block here in the mid, and that should make his life a little easier out of the gate. Getting that first deny here. An old matchup and potential for some kills, but only if both sides stay aggressive. I think without support rotations, we'll see both Quap and Puck kind of farm it up at least until level 6 comes about. That's when that mid lane will really heat up. It is ASUS.Polar doing a 2-1-2, though. Dazzle will stay down bottom to support the Clockwork, and they will leave Lil up top to zone out the Phoenix, as Jonas already relegated to the jungle with 0 experience to his name.
Yeah, you know, with this, Mag and the assistance of FNG nearby secures him a bit of a comfortable start. Looks like they're banking quite a bit onto his early levels. Want to be able to get that initiation factor online sooner than later, and we're just going to be constantly seeding a trade here bottom. This is probably the lane where we're going to see some action, because top lane, really no surprise. Phoenix is in for a tough time. He is cliff jungling right now, because Skywrath Mage is really a pain in the ass to lane against. There's a cliff jungling Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this happen before when Phoenix is a really tough off lane, and even though he's a strong off laner against that Skywrath Mage like you were talking about, it's just not possible for him. Looks like it'll be just a quick pause here. Now, he could just try to jungle alongside the Chen, but then you run into the problem of a hero that already is kind of starved for experience is even more starved for experience. Not really your ideal jungler to leech XP from. And it looks like they're having some lag here on this server. As you can see, Mag very, very excited, very positive about the issues the servers are having.
We know that Valve is working hard. We want to make sure that everything is underway in such an important game. Can't afford any server hiccups. But now that they know that this lane is secured, Illidan's got free farm to work with, I'm curious how long they're going to have Lil just hang around. Or if Phoenix is at least just trying to get the first couple of levels, feel a bit more safe, but I don't think there's any opportunity to really feel safe. The second that Lil gets his own level 2 and gets the silence available to him, Phoenix is just going to have a hard time. So I think Lil, if he wants to, could venture out elsewhere, maybe add some pressure to the mid lane, help out Phobos a bit, put Limp in a bit of trouble, and then could also, I don't know, even pay a visit to bottom. We'll have to see whether they decide to prioritize the lanes now that they know they have so much farm potentially secured for Illidan at the top. And, well, it's Year Beast time. I could have sworn they did separate queues. I know this was a problem when I was doing a lot of the majors for NA, but it looks like the problem will continue. The Lag Beast is online.
The Lag Beast. Oh, my. Well, it was a happy new year, I guess. Yeah, we've been having consistent issues with this, so nothing we can really do besides wait. I think we will wait too long.
He's just saying that if we wanted to schedule around a Year Beast,
yeah.
It's like, what, a 20-minute window every time it's up? We would have been, I mean, and people already are chomping at the bit of where the hell the game is and beyond the schedule. Imagine if we had to wait 20 minutes just
That's
for
a logistics
I mean, we
nightmare.
we might have to wait anyways, but got to get those hats, Zyori. Oh, BZZ set.
Yep.
Gotta get my 4th.
Limp is lagging balls. That's good. Even Casper's lagging. Summon your beasts. All right, everybody gets a coffee break here as the beast comes out. Good, great, grand. Have you had any good luck with the year beast, Dakota?
I played it once. I was done. Zyori. I haven't looked back since. Screw that game. I'm done with it. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Did we play it together or no? We just
No.
queued a regular. Okay. No.
Yeah.
I've played 4 or 5 of them. I think I'm 2 and 3 total, maybe 3 and 3, something like that. It's okay. I don't know. I'm not huge on the custom modes. It's kind of fun. It's very
I was in there.
pay-to-winning.
Everyone was doing ultimates out to wazoo. The game was over in like 15 minutes, and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Sounds like your team got rolled over.
Yeah. I mean, I played it one more time just to make sure I could at least get a win.
Yeah.
I got a set for a hero I don't really play, and I was like, okay, well, back to normal Dota for me. And it looks like back to Dota here as the match will get back underway, at least for now.
Yeah, I like Casper's idea here. Bundles should come with premium ping. I like that. Include some ping in the future bundles. Oh my. So where were we? Seal Kid. He's wrapping around down bottom. Mag taking a little bit of harassment. No coconuts flying around quite yet. But, yes, the cliff jungling Phoenix. That's what we were looking at here. Jonas forced the salve up here as he hides behind the big pillar. And we'll go for a Duke here.
He's like stuck. I think he was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that was
that's
awkward.
a weird little spot. But here we go. He goes swooping in, and he'll just kind of play with this Dark Troll Summoner a little bit. And maybe get his level 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough start, but even the scraps here are better than what is going to be in the lane waiting for him, because ultimately at that point you could be handing over unnecessary feeds and you're just allowing ASUS.Polar to dominate that lane even further. So he needs all the help he can get.
So let's look at the safe lane farmers. Looks like Era having a little bit of a tough time in this safe lane. 9-5 right now compared to this Illidan Slark, who's in the safe lane. 18 and 14 in terms of raw CS. Really having a good old time up there. And I would imagine he'll do this same build. Let's see, what's he working on? Yep, pulling up all that gold. It'll be a fast Midas and probably into a Shadow Blade once more.
With that, Handskin, this is the problem though with your cliff jungling, is you're kind of sharing that jungle a bit with Chen here. It's like, okay, you take that camp, I'll take this one. We'll try our best to make it work, but as it stands right now, the egg will not be fresh. Not for a little while, at least.
No.
As he just continues to cliff jungle. Illidan continues to get all the wealth and farm he wants. 23 and 16 as far as CS. Next matchup, though, is for NiP. The mid lane going pretty nicely here for Limp. 19 and 10 to Puck 16 and 3. It's definitely worth note. And then as far as the bottom goes, Era's got 14 and 7 CS. If you're looking at Clockwork on the other side, he's at 9 and 3. He does have the help of Dazzle. He's almost level 4. Overall, the laning phase going pretty nicely here for Polar, but they're trying to turn things around. They got the smoke happening right now for Handskin. They want to make a gank on this Clockwork, and they could be successful with this positioning.
Yeah, great positioning from Handskin indeed, but Dazzle's nearby. He does have a shallow grave. Cogs burning a lot of mana. No more stuns. Nothing from these creeps. Coconut bouncing around. Grave still comes out onto Mag. Do they have the damage to bring him down? They do. First blood drawn by Seal Kid on the Witch Doctor. And that first rotation from Chen, successful for the Ninjas in Pajamas.
How convenient is that? Because it's only a level 1 grave, it's pretty damn small range. So you got to get close to do it, but when you get close, you risk getting bopped on the head one too many times with that coconut there. And with that, they're able to just get the easy kill. It locks them in place at least long enough that they don't have to commit too deep of a dive to get that last lingering hit. They get their Clockwork kill, and after what is looking like a struggling early laning phase, they certainly needed that bonus early first blood, and they get it.
Yes, sir. Jonas moving back up to the top lane now to try and tango with the Slark. Illidan has his Midas complete right around that 5-minute mark, just like last go-round. He is level 6, pops the ultimate as Jonas gets aggressive, now hit by a concussive. They'll turn it around. Oh, Jonas baited in by the level 6 Slark. And that'll be an easy kill for the Dire. Ties it up 1 apiece.
Oh, Jonas, that's unfortunate. He thought maybe with level 2 he could withstand the power of that top lane, and like you said, man, gets baited right in. Slark's able to pop his level 6. Skywrath was close and nearby with the silence at the ready, and they fire back with their own kill. So NiP are going to have to look to shake that one off and bounce on back. And the mid lane game just kind of continues to develop here. Neither hero venturing off too far yet. They both have their level 6s now, but kind of want to prioritize a bit more farm, I guess, before they want to unleash their fury on other lanes. But 6-minute rune's about to pop up. Bottom's going to be secured with the help there of Handskin. And that would leave the top rune there for Polar if they want to grab it, but Jonas is already on the way. He's going to secure the invis for himself.
All right, so Jonas level 3. Caca, he says, as he takes the rune from Phobos. Eats a bottle charge, hoping to find a yummy rune up there. Now, with this orb on cooldown. All right, Limp thinking about having a go, but won't commit to much. Quap level 7, and yeah, still just farming away. Illidan racking up the last hit, still the last hit leader by a good bit, 46 compared to the 32 of the Luna. Hanging on to that big edge he's picked up for himself. Power treads on the way, a very predictable build as we've talked about, but hey, don't fix what's not broken. Jonas needs to be a little bit careful here. Skywrath Mage, all he has to do is hit him with a silence, and Jonas won't be able to make that escape. He's going to walk right into it. Oh no, there's a sentry ward down. Illidan jumps on him. Jonas walks into a trap. Silly little Yugi.
Oh god, no!
Oh my. There was a trap card there the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder why they even had that sentry. I mean, convenient for them. They didn't know it was an invis rune picked up at the top, but I don't know. Maybe just anticipating
Game
and want to make
sense,
sure they have the
yeah.
safety net there, the game sense, and it pays off. Jonas goes in once more as if the early game wasn't struggling enough for him. He has to come back, they'll teleport a shame in the lane and just play it safe and just try to snipe some CS with those spirits.
Yeah, it seems like this off lane from ASUS.Polar was really smart. The dual lane, keeping the Luna down a little bit, but also delaying this push. And here you'll see the Wild Wing Ripper. They've got a Basilius turned on. These creeps with a huge aura, or huge armor rather, thanks to the auras. Seal Kid gets on that Voodoo Restoration, and they'll commence the pushing. Luna aura ready to rock. It's level 2, no bouncy glaives. Out comes the Glyph, and this tower will take a lot of damage. We'll see what ASUS.Polar want to do to try and contest it, if they choose to really contest it all.
They have good anti-push once the creep wave moves forward like that with the heal, but there's not a lot of levels on Dazzle, not a lot of levels on the heal quite yet, so they can only do so much, and I think they're going to have to sack this tower. They pull back immediately, and it looks like NiP are going to be the first to take the structure of the game, and they're not letting up quite yet. They keep moving.
Yep. This is how NiP likes to do it. They say, all right, you won't react to the first one. Let's see if you react to the second one. If not, that's a free tier 2 tower, a huge access point to Roche, and basically ASUS.Polar have to contest this. They need to at least show some faces and not hand this one over. Partially, you don't want to give all this gold momentum to the Luna, but also you want these towers alive because the Roche Pit will become a core part of your strategy at some point. Even Limp rotating down, this tower falling quickly. They've used their second Glyph, and wow, maybe they're going to make a liar out of me here, Dakota. Maybe they'll just let this one fall. Great read from NiP.
That's 2 towers. They get it done. They know Illidan can't offer a lot. He just got his Midas, so he's anticipating just building up more farm and taking it a little later into the game. But NiP, yeah, man, they read the situation well. They benefit from all those towers, and they look to bounce on back. With those towers, they find the gold necessary, especially for someone like Jonas on his Phoenix, who hasn't really gotten a whole lot. Now he's able at least to throw together some Tranquils, has the regen and the move speed on standby, but overall, he's still witnessing an Illidan who continues to farm up. Once he gets that mobility item, that's when he looks for blood. But mid lane, we got blood. Could potentially be shed here as they try to go on to Limp. They need the silence. The silence is going to be there. That long-range Skywrath Mage able to get the job done, plus the coil. They're able to take down the Queen of Pain. Return kill. Coconut bouncing back and gets the second bounce. Again, catches. But do they have the follow-through here? Jonas shows up, gets the dive, goes on to Lil. The silence immediately goes on to the bird. Tries a TP. Not going to happen. And it's going to be a kill. So a good grab for them. Which
they also got the puck. Era came in with an ultimate ready to rock and roll. He cut off the puck, knew where his exit strategy would be, and was just standing there on the high ground with an Eclipse. The phase shift not high enough level to really mitigate too much damage. And a nice turnaround for NiP. Now they'll just look towards this tier 1 tower here in the mid, tied up 3 apiece, but we're plateaued with a 3-figure lead for the Radiant side. This tower will definitely fall. No Glyph to try and buy some time. That's the second tower kill that Era's picked up this game, the first of which was that tier 2 in the bottom. Now with the Helm of the Dominator to go with the Aquila Power Treads. Looks like he'll go for a little bit of greed with some lifesteal, and maybe start stacking up those Ancients a little bit.
You can really see the push potential here of NiP's lineup. As they begin to take tower after tower, we'll step back, itemize a bit further, and probably go for their next objective. Illidan, man, it's been quiet up here farming. Highest net worth in the game, not really surprised by that. He's ready to get the 6K mark. Midas already on hand. He might even just go straight for the Blink Dagger here. He's got about 2,200 gold, should have it when he finishes off this camp, and at that point, I believe we'll see him really look to try to bring this game back just by getting more and more notches onto the kill column.
It will be interesting to see Illidan switch it up from the Shadow Blade into the Blink Dagger. Of course, the Blink is a bit more standard on Slarks, I think, across the board, but this is just the Illidan special with 2,300
they're
gold.
Gonna get Era. Oh, the TP just in time. The heads-up play, the lack of stuns there, not going to stop him from getting away. The coil's dropped, and he just says, oh, I'm just going to go. See you later. And they can't do anything about it.
Okay, nice heads-up play there. Looks like Limp on the Quap will just be moving into an Orchid. Still a little ways off, but Oblivion Staff at 11 minutes. A pretty good start. His net worth looking pretty solid. Actually surpassing the puck by a couple hundred gold. I think compliments of those tower kills. Even the Witch Doctor getting everything that he wants here, soon to be level 6. It's Dazzle that's gotten left behind. Old FNG only halfway through level 4. Brown boots, some consumables, and a wand. This is one broke Dazzle.
He is, but he's just playing that hard 5 we see some teams have. They don't get a lot of farm here. They'll eventually find a little bit of that meat time to build up, at least get their level 6s, but he's got his eyes on the map, could be making the calls for his team, constantly has the wards up at the ready. Doesn't have a TP on hand right now, but normally would be mobile enough to kind of be there at a moment to help out with the Grave. But yeah, he might need to dip into that Grave pretty soon. With the Orchid coming together of your Queen of Pain, these supports are going to be easy food if caught out on their own at any point. Hell, even not even caught on their own. You can make the jump even in front of one other and probably get the job done.
Yeah, so a sneaky Roche coming out here from NiP. They move into the pit with a smoke. Era and Hanskin using the Chen creeps to tank it up, and they will secure a Roche for themselves. Unbeknownst to ASUS.Polar. That'll be an Aegis of the Immortal in the inventory of the Luna. Meanwhile, in the top lane, ASUS.Polar getting a bit aggressive on this tier 1. Illidan did go for a Yasha, so not that mobility tool that either of us were thinking about. Instead, wants to go a little more combative here.
This is interesting. The Slug does not have a lot of life now, then. He's only got 872, and he only will be relying on his Shadow Dance and Pounce to get out if he doesn't already use that to engage. If he uses it to engage, he might get one pick off, but with quick rotations coming out from NiP, he might not have any way to get away from trouble, and he's going to be pretty squishy as it is, so he might have to make sure he doesn't go too Illidan mode with this kind of build-up. At least that's just my early opinion on it, because NiP are looking to continue their objective grabs. Now, especially with Aegis in pocket, they control the tempo, and it's what they say goes.
Yeah, exactly. This feels very greedy to me from Illidan. It'll certainly pay off if ASUS.Polar can bide their time and kind of stall these pushes, but easier said than done, I think. At least they do have some decent creep clear in the puck and the clockwork. They will push the tier 1 tower mid. Glyph has already come out. TP's coming in. They're going to try to make a defense. They won't defend the tower, but NiP happy to fight right here. Illidan in the front lines, goes in onto Seal Kid. Now the all heal from Chen buys Seal Kid some time, trying to regen up as best he can. The egg from the Phoenix will hit Illidan at this rate. No, he pounces away after finding the kill on Seal Kid, but now isolated with an ultimate on cooldown. Where can Illidan go? Just trying to fog in the tree line, stay out of vision. He will hide in the trees. TP out, and he'll make it. Oh, gosh, that was close. Limp with an ultimate at the ready. Can't pull the trigger fast enough. It's just a 1-for-0 in the mid after they trade tier 1 towers.
Yeah, Era tried to catch him with the Lucid Beam, which would have stopped the TP, but he was just mid-cast animation before he got out. Nice hook shot, is able to connect. Hanskin could be in trouble here and will be. Skywrath Mage follow up. The classic combo going to be there, but Skywrath Mage could lose his own life. He will. Limp quickly makes the jump. Now 4-5. Illidan on the retreat. NiP just looking to get a little bit of extra scraps here. Jumps up and above, sees DK Phobos and Mag, wants to go for the weaker target, but now he could be in a bit of a pickle. 3-for-1 turnaround. They take down the Queen of Pain, and Era going to be locked in place with the coil. Very nicely done from ASUS.Polar. It seemed like since the start of that engagement, when NiP made the rotation to the mid lane, it was a bit questionable as far as who NiP were really trying to focus. They left Witch Doctor behind. Illidan took a lot of time to take him down because of all the heal. Maybe if they went and converged on the Illidan instead, things could have gone a bit differently, but they kind of spread apart, and they really didn't get a lot done.
Yeah, that was a really awkward exchange in general. NiP had 2 big ultimates to use, the Eclipse as well as the Sonic Wave, even the Death Ward for that matter, and none of them were utilized there. They used the Phoenix Egg that kind of broke the fight in half, isolated Illidan, but unfortunately they couldn't punish it hard enough. They couldn't find him to lock him down and secure the kill. And then even that chase into the jungle, sort of the same thing. Era trying to get in position to use the ulti, but just never found the proper opening. And now only 2 minutes left on the Aegis. They've taken out all of the tier 1 towers. I don't know that NiP will find another great opening here to force another fight unless ASUS.Polar do it for them. They smoke up, they rotate to the bottom. They've got 3 heroes down here. We'll see when they choose to reveal themselves. NiP with the same idea. They'll smoke up. 90 seconds left on this Aegis. They want somebody, and they'll settle for Phobos.
Yeah, you can tell that they want to make use of this Aegis. They got to get something done. They smoke up, but everyone's just getting out of arm's reach here. Now they see Phobos. It's going to be popped. The coconut goes, but he quickly shifts it away. And he follows up with a nice silence. Phobos is just going to look to walk out away from this one. Oh, Lucent Beam is there. Icarus dive clears out the trees. Phobos exposed now. Egg's going to be popped. Finally, they get a hold of that pesky little fairy freak. And they take him down.
Yep, it took a little bit of effort, but they do it. I thought he might just luck out with that haster there and be able to scurry back to safety, but puck does get brought down, and NiP at least are rewarded for their aggressive rotation with that smoke. Now in the mid lane, they'll stay grouped up, and hey, we're all here. Why not knock down this tower? They've still got that Wild Wing Ripper for the armor aura, the Aquila as well on Era, and now Seal Kid turns on the juice, baby. That's what I'm talking about. The Voodoo Restoration, Dire Tier 2 tower goes down. They don't use the glyph. Smart play to save it for the high ground, as NiP may well try to knock on that front door of the Dire base. They'll be stuck down bottom a little bit longer, finishing off this Tier 1 tower. Not a lot of pushing prowess on this Dire side, and that Radiant Glyph buying them some good time. Now the Dire happy they saved their Glyph. Tier 3 tower already at half health, Dakota, but ASUS.Polar will come to the defense.
If they can defend this, they still get a nice exchange, taking 2 Tier 1s for that Tier 2. And they are able to push them back. And at this point, NiP might not want to risk losing the Aegis if it expires. They are able to get the Clockwork, and the Lucent Beam finishes it off. So a quick and easy grab right there. A bit of an overextension, I guess, from their initiator on the side of Polar. And he loses his life because he's out of the picture. They keep the pressure up. Illidan bounces on forward, showing his new Saint Yasha. He's got durability now. Begins to bring out the right click, but quickly Limp is able to blink away, and now he goes toe-to-toe with Era, who turns back. Big ultimate eclipse wipes out Illidan, and now turns back onto FNG. Grave is there, but he is desperate to make it away. He is done for. And the buyback from Illidan wants to pounce probably the low ground to get the sweep pick. Era, his Aegis is down. If he goes down, he's out for the count. Phobos sees that, jumps forward, silences there, orbs back and away. Illidan, get the hell back here. How dare you push into our base and take our lives? But it looks like NiP are going to be able to walk away without a scratch. They do lose Chen, but they are certainly happy to get that kind of exchange.
Yeah, great fight for NiP, I think. Needless to say, a 1-for-3 trade at face value and then 2 buybacks used by ASUS.Polar. We're only 18 minutes in, so not the most costly buybacks, but I think more importantly, these buybacks are now on cooldown. And NiP, they're smart guys. They are not going to sit back, rest on their laurels, and farm for the next 10 minutes. They're going to stay aggressive. They're going to take out that last remaining Tier 2 tower in the top lane, maybe work the second Roche, get another Aegis, and then they're going for high ground. And that could all happen within the next 6 minutes before these cooldowns on the buybacks have actually refreshed. Phoenix has a Hand of Midas now, soon to be level 11, and probably a Shiva's Guard on the way.
Good catch up for this Phoenix. Sometimes you just got to get that Midas to kind of get yourself back into the game after a struggling start. And because of all the towers and all the objectives they've taken down in the Roche, he's able to just build up a wealth of income. Pretty much just knew that it was going to be a rough early game. And with that, his team was able to rally behind him and boost him up to his birdie little pedestal. And with that now, and supports building all the sweet ancient stacks farm, Era is going to be building right into his next item, which is probably going to be the good old reliable BKB grab.
Yeah, or that S and Y. We'll see here, Dakota.
Yeah. It's true. Illidan, I mean, is S and Y already in full force, making it happen? And these teams and their S and Ys, why not, right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I haven't seen a lot of the European scene, but
it is a good BKB game, though. Yeah, I have to admit, with the puck, with the Skywrath, it is good to have the BKB here on your Luna. So it could go either way. Hell, could end up getting both of them. Or maybe it's just a casual Yasha for the farm. And they'll smoke. It gets broken by Mag. He's hiding in the tree line. Do they end up scouting him out? No. Instead, they find FNG. He'll get Orchided, blown up, and even the Soul Burn would have been enough to secure that kill. Mag does manage to TP out in his cute little spot in the trees, and everyone else on ASUS.Polar will scatter about. Illidan lingering around here in the mid. Double damage on, but they're not scared. NiP thinking about manning up. Can't close the gap fast enough. All right. Dakota, you still with me?
Yep, sorry, I hit the wrong button there. I might push to talk. I forgot. I got to press that thing to make sure you hear me. So.
Whoa. All right, good.
With that,
okay. So 9-7, what are we at here? NiP, they're in the lead. How are we looking?
We're looking pretty good. NiP is forced to expend the Queen of Pain ultimate just to kind of keep the pressure back quite a bit, which Polar continue to build up. It seems like NiP have the better objective lineup, but Polar just looking to kind of create the space so they can really shine later on here. But I can't help but feel like they're putting a lot behind Illidan in this kind of a game. And NiP have a great foundation behind Era. And is the foundation quite as strong on the side of Polar? I don't know. I mean, even if they're able to get the jump in with someone like Clockwork and the fall through from Skywrath Mage, once what I imagine being this BKB, which, yeah, with the recipe there, you know, it's not going to be as easy on someone like Era. He'll be able to hold his ground with the benefit of his right click, the aura he's already adding to everyone else, and of course that ultimate could tear someone like Illidan to shreds pretty fast.
Meanwhile, in the Radiant jungle, Hanskin taking a lot of damage. He will buy some time, though. Sets it up for the Death Ward to come out. Mag will get shallow graves, but I don't think that's going to be keeping him alive this go-around. Yep, he'll certainly go down. Phoenix secures the kill as the Icarus dives in. Jonas trying to get aggressive as Illidan comes around the backside. ASUS.Polar have their forces split right now, but will not stop them from looking to take an engagement. Shen Army in the front lines. He's even got one of those little alpha wolves there for the aura to make things a bit easier for the team. Nice spread of creeps and disables, as now Era could be the target of choice for Illidan. He's rotated over. He's thinking about it. And he's going to go on in. Misses the pounce, though. Nobody saw it. Don't worry.
Airball.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Era
God. Thinking about the turn. It's a laser. Oh, Jesus.
Bird in my ass. He's able to pounce and get away from this one. Not quite close enough to get the Lucent Beam to try to stutter step him a bit. And Illidan is going to miss the opportunity on what he thought could have been a quick grab onto Era. And with that, they pull back and away. They already have a couple of stacks already on this Ancient Camp. The resources even available on the sidelines for NiP is just very impressive. If you look at the side of ASUS, I'm not seeing very many stacks. I'm seeing some people jungle farm. Maybe potentially I see one stack up over here that Lil's working with, but constantly NiP are just building up the funds. And if you look at the net worth, it just shows it right there. They're at 3K. It does dip back towards ASUS a little bit, but it still feels like they're in control as far as the money goes. But top lane, we could have trouble.
Yeah, Jonas jumped on here. Phobos goes on in with a blink coil to get her started, and that's all they need. Illidan follows up with big burst damage. Now Mag.
Side. Oh, blasted. Scream in your face. Limp. Not going to allow him to TP away so easily. So kills top to bottom. Both offlaners go down. Roche is up. NiP think about segueing that way, but they don't have Era nearby.
Nope. They move into the Roche pit and thinking about trying to blast him down, but ASUS.Polar in the vicinity. FNG will come, take out their lovely vision, and they will try to rendezvous with their team as Phobos and Illidan, they're on their way in. There's a creep there. Now Era pressing forward, thinking about having a go, but won't commit for the kill. Now the orb forward, and Puck will not jaunt to it.
Slark, what a hero. Not even an Orchid can stop him. He just got packed. Says, nope, no problem. We'll just shake that off, pounce on away from danger. Just perfect kind of hero for someone like Illidan if he wants to be very, very ballsy and still be able to have a way to get out if shit really hits the fan. So with that kind of play style, he looks to continue to play very aggressive. NiP know that this Roche is up. They're kind of congregated towards the area. They already got some wards down to scout things out. ASUS, though, have a very nice aggressive ward, and they know where the movement is from NiP. If they already go up to the north, but they don't pop up the other side, they got to be doing Roche. So already there's going to be the ping from FNG. And with that, we could see if ASUS.Polar want to contest.
We'll see. They certainly want to, but can they do it, I think, is really the appropriate question. We'll take a look at Dire Vision right now. They don't have a hell of a lot of it. They've got one on the high ground, so they saw them walk into the pit, and they will not dare venture into that part of the map. It'll be an uncontested Roche. Luna, again with an Aegis of the Immortal. NiP furthering their momentum. The biggest lead we've seen yet this game. 4,000 net worth, 1,000 experience. It may be Illidan topping the net worth chart right now, but the real gain for NiP is in the supports. Look at that Shen. He's right middle of the pack, even ahead of the Clockwork on the side of ASUS.Polar.
Yeah, that's just them being able to take advantage of their map. They're playing a game where they want Polar to come to them and make the fights. Or NiP wait for something like this opportunity where they have an Aegis and they go forward and they take their own objectives. Basically, it's on their terms. They want things to happen on their terms. They're not looking to get caught by surprise at any moment. It's either they're expecting the fight to come their way, or when it's their time to roll out with their army, they do so. And right now that army is just trucking and parading down mid lane. They'd already taken the tier 2 here, maybe adding some pressure, at least here for now. Could cut towards the top and get that last remaining outer tower, or just force the rest of Polar back into their base and then pull off from there. No, they're going to make the cut potentially.
Yeah, they're going to go right up the mid lane. Courier gets picked off. No cargo, so just a little gold picking up for ASUS.Polar. NiP need to be very careful about this, but so do ASUS.Polar. They're all spread about right now. Dazzle in the front lines. They'll get the Luna low, but now the engage around the backside. They bring down Skywrath Mage to get things started. Illidan forced to use his ultimate very early on. The egg from the Phoenix, they'll try and focus it down. They will get the kill, but Mag isolated on the other side. It's a 1-for-2 out of the gate. Now a buyback used by Jonas. It's a 5v3 on the field. ASUS.Polar still all spread about. They will hold their high ground for now. And we'll see what the move is here for NiP. Looks like they need to wait for the creep wave. Tier 3 tower very low. The glyph has already been utilized as Illidan wants to just clear up this creep wave. Not going to be able to do it, but Puck will. Backdoor protection will keep them alive a little bit longer. Nicely played by ASUS.Polar thus far.
Yeah, they clear out the wave very quickly, but the tier 3 is already so low. And now you can see the glaives beginning to shred through the base. ASUS.Polar need to stop this from happening, but Era does still have that Aegis. They're going toe-to-toe, but the Centaur stun locks him in place. They force out the shallow grave. Illidan desperate to make it away, but Era won't let him go.
Oh,
There's
the glaive!
Heals to stop him, but the glaive cuts him down, and Illidan drops. He's going to have to buy back again because the racks are being contested. This is match point. If they lose this, they are out. So with that, the jumping from back lines, Mag tries to lock him in place. The heal coming out, Jonas with the laser zap. It makes it a 2-for-2. Aegis going to be popped. Witch Doctor also buying back to come back to this. Era could go down and will be locked into place and brought down. Polar managed to defend their racks. They get a couple of big grabs, big kills. They want more. Jonas is going to be able to fly away. It's at the expense of a couple of buybacks, but it's a solid defense.
Puck lives off to the side as well, going blow for blow with the Queen of Pain. Almost loses the duel. There was a buyback used on the Witch Doctor as well. I'm not sure what the plan was there. No towers nearby to TP to, no BOTs, so a wasted buyback for the most part on the good Doctor. And at the end, both teams just spend all of their hard-earned money on buybacks, essentially. 16-13. It is still NiP, basically where they started before that fight broke out. They don't even get the mid lane of barracks. I guess they get the tier 3 tower. That's the big gain. A couple of the safety structures, a little moon wells there, but that's a mid lane of barracks. Still good, and ASUS.Polar still in this game, at least for now.
I wager at least it must have been unfortunate positioning for Seal Kid because he was unable to get down his death ward. Probably the reason he was pressured, not pressured, but felt like he needed to buy back to try to get back into the fight, hoping that it would be a long-winded one and he could make his return with that big death ward and try to turn the fight right back around, but that didn't happen. So he didn't get his death ward and he lost more gold and now no buyback for him. So pretty expensive, but hey, for the next engagement, he has ward at the ready here. We'll see if they can make use because Illidan is scouting him out right now.
Yeah, Illidan will just Dark Pact, leap back to safety. He does have his Eye of Scotty complete, so feeling a little tankier, a little more safe in general. Era now moving into a Manta style to go with his HOD and BKB. BKB down to 9 seconds. We just saw its debut here in the last fight. Still a lot of good duration to be utilized on that baby. Handskin, the Rich Chen. Now with an Ogre Club, maybe the beginnings of just an Aghanim Scepter. I doubt he'll be looking for a BKB this early on. But one thing Era has done consistently here is use that HOD to stack up the Ancients here. Constantly seeing 3-4 stacks, and sharing is caring as they start to soften them up. And Era will come over and bring them down, maybe just sharing some XP for the team. Things still looking pretty good for NiP.
I don't know, have you brought up already Skywrath Mage with the Helm of Iron Will? Is he going Veil? Interesting.
I think he's
Veil
got to
grab?
be.
Ultra Magic Burst, maybe, in hopes that it would work. It does. The effect does go through BKB, but you'd have to time it out right if you want to be able to make the most out of it. But uh-oh, top lane. Air going to get snagged from Illidan. There's the pounce. Rotations quickly come. Seal Kid already on the scene. Handskin there as well. Limp moves forward. Get the hell over here, Illidan. I'm going to hunt down. Long Shadow Strike will connect, but he keeps moving. He is just so damn fast. Moving on forward there. There's going to be the Orchid. Already used the Pact. He just continues to chase him down with that quick move speed. But that's Illidan. That's Illidan Slark. He just pounces and walks on away.
Thought he may consider dropping an ultimate there, but with the Scotty and the S&Y, Slark is just too damn big. Mag gets isolated on the high ground, tries to cog TP out, but the laser mixed with Limp laying into him secures the kill. Now Jonas walks right into Illidan. Illidan will initiate. Weave from Dazzle trying to soften him up a little bit. Mystic Flare totally off the mark. It's another air ball. Jonas, though, hangs around a bit too long. Illidan comes in, secures the kill, but Lil tanks a Sonic Wave to the face. Out comes the Death Ward. Puck will interrupt it. Compliments of that Dream Coil. They burn the Aegis of the Immortal. Is that what that noise was? Nope. Never mind. All right. Era on his way back in.
They'll keep moving forward. They managed to get that Death Ward out finally. It was enough to zone, I guess, Illidan back for now, but obviously not enough to bring him down. And I guess they feel confident enough to push this mid lane. They don't have Phoenix. Clockwork will be up. So will Skywrath Mage. I don't think this is a good idea. So they send it back, but yeah, Illidan pounces right onto Handskin. Handskin getting healed up from Seal Kid. Era's there as well. Can't overcommit for this one. Limp now shows up. Illidan gets himself right back into the base. Just able to move in and out like that. Fluid as water.
Yeah, fluid as water. Henskin gonna rebuild his army here. 18 to 14. NiP getting an okay trade there. Roche not gonna be up for a little while. I don't know what that noise was I heard that I thought was the Aegis sound, but I think it expired way before that fight. And anyhow, Era.
It was the Hand of God.
Ah, the Hand of God. That's what it was. The sound effects playing with me here.
Like, I don't know. It's some crazy shit.
I wonder what he's actually saying. I wonder how they instructed that voice actor. Okay, so here's the skinny. Okay,
you are the same guy who does brew.
Yeah, you're a holy knight. You're riding on a little pony, and we're gonna need you to heal the masses from the Hand of God. So. Here we go. Lil jumped on by Seal Kid. Who's jumping on who here? Seal Kid almost goes down to the return damage, but does barely stay alive. Meanwhile, on the other side, Mag trying to force staff TP back to safety, but will the soul burn be enough? It will. He dies back in the well as he TPs home. The soul burn securing the last bit of damage they needed. Illidan trying to cut through backdoor protection. He's losing the war. Come on, chop that one, Illidan. Chop that one. Nope. Good work, buddy. Almost.
This damn tower, I'll get it. Get these creeps out of my way. It was like the perfect heal to damage ratio. Just kept healing every single attack. Now finally, if it got denied, I would have died.
That would have been good. Illidan will get his prize gem, the tier 2 tower in the top lane, and almost levels out the tower count actually. So this gold lead that NiP has is just some good old fashioned beating them down. 6 kill hero advantage. 5,000 gold, 3,000 XP in the favor of the ninjas right now. Looking towards the Roche pit, the big boys respond. This is Roche number 3. Rocket will scoot by, kind of clip him. I don't know if they saw it, but this is Aegis and Cheese and will undoubtedly become a point of contention.
Yeah, so with that, we're going to have a bit of a tension here. You're going to see already ASUS.Polar, they're quickly converging into the area. As far as their vision goes, they need a bit more of it in the area. Illidan moves first. He's very elusive, and he can scout out what kind of vision NiP got with that awesome Slark capability. And with that, they know Vision's in the area. Here comes FNG. He's got 4 sentries. He's like, I'll find this frickin' ward. All right, we'll try over here first. Sentry. Crap. It's the freaking Queen of Pain. FNG's like, ward duty's going to be trouble, but here comes Clockwork. And maybe they sprung the trap. They turn back. Self-grave saves him for now, drops down the weave, and quickly TP's home.
BKB used by Limp. He'll be able to blink back as Illidan goes in on him. NiP stand their ground for now. They all heal from Chen. The ultimate from Era. Eclipse doing some decent damage. They get Illidan to about half health. Now he gets stunned up. Limp really wants to find this kill. Still holding on to an ultimate. Stun from Handskin. Limp doing the math. He's pulling out the calculator, but doesn't have the damage to bring him down quite yet. Now Phobos in some trouble, but will jaunt over the ravine there. And everyone's still alive. After all that. No kills.
Yeah, that was a lot for nothing.
Okay. Well, the Roche point's certainly a point of contention. Both teams playing cautiously, but not afraid to burn those ultimates if they have the chance. Except the Sonic Wave. Quap hanging on to that one a bit longer.
And I think everyone just needs to take a moment to step back, realize what the hell happened, heal up a bit, itemize, and then go at Roche one more time. But it's very apparent after all that, neither team is really comfortable making that kind of engagement, so they'll be forced to wait a little bit. Era's working with another juicy stack, like the third big one of the game, so he is definitely putting himself up there. Now neck and neck with net worth of Illidan. Illidan, mind you, got that early Midas, and he was just way up on top. Era's just slowly being able to creep on him.
Yep, he's been staying pretty much neck and neck the whole time, which is very impressive given that Era doesn't have a true farm accelerator. Obviously, no Midas, anything like that. He will move into a Butterfly, it looks like. Eagle Song secured. Illidan will be okay. Channels up that Dark Pact as the Paralyzing Cask flies through. Seal Kid hoping for a kill there, but the elusive Illidan lives once more. Puck walks by the Radiant Ancients, sees they've been killed, and will orb aggressively into the mid lane.
Oh, no.
Oh, now his Blink gets broken. Oh, Puck, baby. Laser trying to interrupt that Blink Dagger, and now Phobos will just TP home, and nothing Phoenix can do about it.
I imagine that Phoenix he's got the staff. Could be a Force Staff for the Clockwork. Could be a Yules to prevent someone like Puck right there getting away. He can obviously use these skills and abilities while he's doing Icarus dives, so Yules could be more potent, but they're making it go in the limp. Illidan's there. Oh, big damage burst. Can he walk out from this one? Death Pact pounds forward. Scream's there. He's trying to regen up. The Weave, gonna save him for now. He is just trucking to get the hell out of here. Back to the paramedic. That is FNG. FNG trying to TP away. They say, forget FNG. We want the bigger target. They get the coconut. It's gonna connect. Holy moly, they finally take down Illidan. It takes a lot of muscle power, but it gets done. 100 seconds. Does have enough resources for the buyback, but they're like, all right, go to Roche. Let's get it done.
What a slippery bandit that Slark is, just cruising around the map. Luckily, they did secure the kill, and now this is the first death since he bought back before. Like you mentioned, it's cooled down, but he's going to be sitting in the grave for a long time if he doesn't utilize a buyback here. Now Roche falling pretty quickly. NiP will be able to secure it. Looks like ASUS.Polar will take the approach of let's just pressure the base as hard as we can instead of trying to contest Roche, given that it is a 5v4. But unfortunately for them, they won't be able to do it fast enough, and Roche will go down really before they even make it to the high ground. Aegis goes to the Luna, and Seal Kid on the Witch Doctor will be the one to grab that cheese.
He could probably get in close. Oh, mid lane engagement breaks out. DK, Phobos, and Limp go toe-to-toe. Silence is there. Now gets the Yules. Removes the silence. Can he quickly blink out? He can. Trying to wager which way he's going to go.
Oh,
he
no.
doesn't go anywhere. He's right in the middle. Drops the coil. Orb to the high ground to walk away from this one, and we'll make it on out. DK Phobos, just as slippery as his Illidan brother. Just proves that they're like, you know what, forget that freaking Puck, let's just push. And they go right back towards the mid lane where the Rax is already exposed. You could also see potentially here Clockwork looking to cut the creeps a little bit.
He's thinking about it, at least. Pardon me. Queen of Pain, now with the Scythe of Vice complete, they're going straight for the high ground. Dire have a glyph, but they'll need to burn it soon. The bouncy glaives doing big damage on the structures. One barracks, two barracks down. It's an easy lane for NiP.
Man.
ASUS.Polar saved the glyph for another day.
Illidan's been dead forever, it feels. He finally is back now. He was out for like 2 minutes. They got a Roche. They stepped back, farmed up, pushed down mid, took down those racks, and now Illidan's back to fight. He moves on forward. He can afford a buyback if he needs to, and he might need to just kind of go balls to the walls here. At least burn the Aegis and buy back. Oh, hookshot's not going to connect from Mag. The Grave, the Glaives rather, they just ripped through the tower. Tower's going to be dropped. Air's going to be healed up. The minus armor, though, continues to stack. Illidan considers jumping on forward, but he can't do a whole lot. NiP are just going to hold the fort while they can.
They may need to wait out this weave. Unfortunately for NiP, they don't have a creep wave coming anytime soon. The Dire wave getting a lot of momentum in the lane, but they've got backdoor protection broken from the mid, which is pressing forward. So getting that tier 3 tower, Era played that just about perfectly. Recognize he has the Aegis, the support of his healers. He'll just go straight into the high ground. Now Dire have to be very choosy when to use this glyph, and they'll do it now as the glaives start to cut through their structures. They'll need to find an angle to reinitiate, but they've got no hook shot for another 10 seconds. There is a coil online, and here we go. Puck comes in. Coil on 3. Will be able to survive for now. Hand of God flies through. The coconut bouncing around. Lil goes down. Mystic Flare not going to do a hell of a lot. Now it's Illidan in the front lines. In some trouble as well. Manages to get off the Dark Pact in the shallow grave, but it won't keep him alive. Queen of Pain chases him down. Now the buyback utilized. Dazzle brought down in the mix. The bottom lane of Barracks will fall before Illidan can even get back into the fray. Egg from Phoenix falls through, or goes through rather. Illidan now on his way in. That'll be ranged Varix down. Melee falling soon. The backdoor protection keeping him alive, but, well, not alive enough. That'll be 2 lanes of Barracks secured as NiP make it happen.
Yeah, NiP, man, they're just one step away from securing a spot in the finals against Empire. Dire straits right now, unfortunately, for ASUS.Polar. That long death, that pick on the bottom lane, it took so much muscle power to finally get a hold of that Slark, but it clearly pays off with that. They got to secure that Aegis, they got to secure the mid lane Rax, and they just had so much momentum by that point, because remember, recently buffed, when you take down Rax, everyone gets a much bigger gold boost, and it's just more than enough. They have enough resources, they move on forward, they get the second set of Rax, and now it's ASUS.Polar with their backs against the wall. They'll desperately need to put something together to try to bring this game back. Illidan already expended his buyback at this point. He goes down again. The game is over.
Yeah, I mean, he's farming newts right now, but just for the fun of it, he's still got the buyback gold penalty on.
Just exercising a bit. Working on that right jab.
He's just giving it to the centaurs, really getting into the lore right now.
It's a stress ball.
Yeah, letting out some of that frustration. It's been a difficult game for this Slark. Not going for his prize Shadowblade bill, 5, 4, and 4. Yeah, not quite as big as he'd like to be. And now with that buyback, just look at the net worth. It's Era, topping the charts by a good bit. Even the Queen of Pain surpassing the Slark. And this gold graph out of control. 14,000 gold in favor of NiP and about 12,000 XP. They will smoke up with their cores. Well, one of their cores and their supports here near the mid lane. Rendezvous with their other cores and head towards the top lane. They're going to bump right into ASUS.Polar. Can they find the angle to initiate? They see Illidan. They go right for him here. He's got a BKB. He'll use it. Now he goes in onto Seal Kid. Pounce connects, but Illidan taking a lot of damage. Now the Death Ward.
Why is he not using Ghost?
Uh-oh. Well, now the hook shot comes in. We'll connect on a few. Cogs flying through. Slark pounces away. He'll be all right for now, but on the other side of the fight, Limp comes on in. Has an ultimate ready. Thinking about the opportunity to use it, but can't quite find it. Instead, they go for the Dazzle. Now the reinitiation off to the other side. Mag will try to TP out. Limp, silence. Mystic Flare brings him low, but he will heal up. Now initiated on again. Limp finally falls, but it'll cost Lil his life. Phoenix Egg used off to the side. Not going to do anything, but buy him some time. Queen of Pain will utilize a buyback here. And TPs to the tier 2 mid will be able to get into the fray pretty quick. Aegis expires, but NiP will take the fight 2 for 2, and they get the objective in that tier 2 tower at the end.
And they have their eyes on the prize, looking to breach high ground here in the top lane. The last set of Rax. Illidan steps on forward. Now the Glaives are going to be unleashed as they begin to quickly sweep on forward. He's got the Satanic, happy to use here. Doing this without their Witch Doctor. And, well, tier 3, very low. Lucid Beam going to connect. Illidan quickly sidesteps it. Mag moves in behind, tries to move apart everyone and get them nice and spread. Era, he's like, I'm all objective gaming, baby. You have your hands full with my buddy Limp. He decides finally to turn back on to him, gets a few right clicks, but he just continues to go right into the Rax right now. Illidan needs to do something about this. If they get Megas, it's going to be too hard to come back from. So with that, one more last stand.
Luna, is she still alive? Oh, wait, now Jonas, though, he might get left behind. He'll finish off the barracks before he goes down. Well worth it for NiP. They only take 2 casualties off that. And, yeah, it's a net worth gain for the Dire, but hey, you're Mega'd, ASUS.Polar. Maybe they've got one Hail Mary push left in them. But it's going to have to be one hell of a Hail Mary. Chen, maybe they'll find a recovery kill here. Handskin spends his gold before he goes down, so even if he dies, won't be so costly. Ooh, a coil.
This is... Okay. Handskin? Goes down. Okay.
Oh, my.
It took a lot, but they got it. I can't help but feel like this is just Polar, like, I'm just going to get one last jab in. Just, yeah, you may have won, but I got that kill.
Yep. Luna is just absolutely massive. Number 1 on net worth now by a good bump over the Slark. Full Butterfly, full Satanic. And even BOT's now just hanging onto the treads, still swapping them around for good measure. Era is... He's taken over this game. He is the king of the castle. And ASUS.Polar are just one bad fight away from elimination here from the major All-Stars.
And with that, we're looking at potentially NiP taking on Empire. I'm trying to remember back at Star Ladder, I'm sure they squared off, and obviously I imagine Empire were the ones to ultimately be the victors here. And I'm curious if NiP have just kind of learned from that, evolved their game a bit, and now they have, you know, Limp now on their roster since then. I wonder if they'll prove to be a tougher test against Empire this go-around. It is going to be a best of 5, so they have a little bit more wiggle room to adjust, as opposed to last time when they only had 3 games to work with, or a best of 3 to work with.
Illidan now picks up the MKB, wants something to deal with this Luna. ASUS.Polar thinking they have a shot if they can just take one more fight. Puck, now with a refresher, also has the Aghanim, so that Dream Coil has some potential to do some serious work in these upcoming exchanges. NiP has been very cautious not to break that tether since it's been upgraded to the Ags. Even another Aghanim's coming out now. That'll be the Clockwork. Old Mag, he's got hookshot now on that super short cooldown.
But is it enough? They are constantly got to be on defense here. I mean, who do you leave back and behind? You're desperate for FNG to try to clear him out with his weave. Skywrath Mage can't do crap on creep clearing, you know, so it's tough for him. Just maybe an occasional Arcane Bolt to try to take down one creep, but you're going against Megas here. My God, they're just... I don't know. I mean, at this point, NiP are just like, oh, they don't know yet, but oh, there's Roche. So convenient timing for them. They'll take this Aegis, and they can just dive ball into the ASUS.Polar base. It would take a serious rubber band snapback Polar charge down mid lane or whatever lane. Mid lane still has a tier 2 even to just try to go right to the jugular. But
yeah, that's the big problem. You win one fight, but then what? You're still pushing through Megas, which is not easy. I mean, Slark, not a great hero in terms of just creep clear. If you had a Dusa, a Battle Fury anti-mage, then maybe you can wade through the muck, cut down those creeps, and get towards the base in 45, 60 seconds, something like that, while the team's wiped up. But here, I just don't see how ASUS.Polar is going to be able to push out of their base and actually do any kind of crippling damage.
Here we go. Era's got DD, so that's the dream. And with that, a cheese moves on in. Where's the... Who picked up the Aegis? Was it Queen of Pain? Is that what you just said? Oh, yeah. Aegis in the pocket for Limp. They move forward. Era
takes the cheese.
Immediately gets into fisticuffs. Has no Aegis if he goes down, mind you. And
can he eat the cheese? He eats it.
But
he's still alive.
He's alive. Scream is huge. Goes through. Mag drops. Egg going to be cracked right now. Wide on open. Illidan trying to walk on out. Limp decides to catch up with them. Tries to go toe-to-toe. And, well, they get their double kill takedown. Already 2 drop. Tier 4 will go down, and it looks like this could be a good game. NiP are going to be moving on to the finals here of the European qualifier to face Empire.
GG! ASUS.Polar eliminated by the Ninjas in Pajamas. A slugfest of a series goes the distance in this best of 3, but it will be NiP, the Swedish squad, now secured in the finals against Empire. Now, Dakota, we've had an audible here. And this is a big change. The finals will be best of 3, not best of 5. The teams have agreed. It will be NiP Empire in a best of 3 scheduled to start in about a half hour's time.
We don't need 5 games to get this done. Both teams pretty confident, I guess. Hey, it makes our day shorter. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little unfortunate, I guess, for some fans maybe hoping for an epic 5-game best-of-5 series, but, you know, there's been a lot of talk about oversaturation and teams and their fatigue.
Games.
Teams don't like best-of-5s, and I guess feeling here for this qualifier seed, a best-of-3 is sufficient, given that it was a double-elim bracket, so we've got that to look forward to. But, hey, we've got like a 30, 40-minute break before Empire NiP is scheduled to rock and roll. Dakota, that means we need to get a little lunch in our bellies and come back fresh for a whole nother best-of-3.
I'm excited. Dota is amazing, and I love it, Zyori.
Yes!
It is just so great.
Dota. So
I'm actually really excited. It's been a while since I've seen Empire, and I mean, if it's anything like how they were at Star Ladder, these guys can perform so well. And I love NiP. We got to meet them in person. They're just stand-up guys.
Mm-hmm.
I would not, if I even could be biased in my commentary, I don't even know who I would be rooting for in this one. I'm just looking for good Dota.
Yeah, I can certainly empathize with that, my friends. All right, folks, stick around. We're going to have a break. Get yourselves some lunch, some dinner, then come on back in 30 minutes. We'll have the grand finals of here, the major All-Stars coming up after this. Major.